What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. This video is entitled Black Men Have to Take Risks. This is not a, go do something illegal type thing. What I mean by that is America isn't fair, and it's not going to be fair for us. It hasn't been fair for us. It's not going to be fair to us. So we're going to have to take risks for our own betterment. Like, men in general have to take risks, but I was watching this video of the actor, the guy that played Cottonmouth on the Luke Cage series. I forget his doggone name right now. But he was like, black men, we stay on the defensive. America has us always on the defensive. And to be successful, you have to actually be smooth while you're on the defensive. But everybody else is, but if you compare us to other groups are on the offensive. This is why they can get things done, because they're always on offense. Now, the catch-22 is, that's partially why people, in my opinion, dislike us, because when somebody's defense first, it really wears down an offensive person. Because if you can't get a defensive person, it's like fighting. If the person is very defensive, you're gonna get tired from all your offense, and then when it's time for them to apply their offense, you already have done. So thus that the person keeps coming and keeps coming. That's how you punch yourself out. Now, but the taking a risk part is this. If we want to be in a different space than we are in America or globally, we have to do things that hasn't been done before, or do things that have been done before, but we haven't done them in a while. And those things are going to take risks. We're going to have to put ourselves on the line. We're going to have to put our time, our effort, our sweat equity, our own money on the line. Because if we want something different, we're going to have to create it. Nobody's going to create it for us. And this is the one thing about black men and risk, And I know it's hard for some of us, because when we take risks, all of a sudden the whole system shuts down and we become public enemy number one. Even legal risks are approached, or how can I say this? People try to make our legal risk taking illegal with the power of perception and propaganda, or with the ideology that if we succeed, we're gonna be, we're gonna blow up the whole economic landscape, right? And then everybody's gonna suffer, and so we can't let that happen. This is part of the reason why, historically, when we catch on to the economic games in America, the way people get ahead economically, and we do it, once we start, they change the rules, because we can't have that, not in this establishment, right? But we're gonna have to take, and since we know that we're gonna have to take risks that take that into consideration, because whatever white people are doing in America right now that's legal, that's getting them ahead, when we do it, they're going to switch it up and make it something completely different. So we got to be able to take the risk of, let me be a visionary and go beyond this already. That's the premise of this. We have to take risk. And unfortunately, with us, like with anybody who takes risks, you really have no idea where these risks are going to pan out. Like, for some of us, it might be feast. For some of us, it might be famine. But if you want better, you gotta do things. If you want something you never had, you gotta do things you never did. And this is why some of us do all the different things we do. This, for me as a person, I wanted to be more successful than I was. I still want to be more successful than I am, and I appreciate where I am to where I started from, but I had to do things that were uncomfortable, you know. And I'm not saying I did things that were wrong, but I had to take risks that I had to put eating aside to take risks for my own betterment. You get what I'm saying? And some of them panned out, some of them didn't. I had to make sacrifices with necessities. You know, some things worked, some things didn't. But you have to be able to just, as the lady in Coming to America would say, "Go on, honey, take a chance." You know, we have to do that, whether you like it or not. With high risk comes high reward. You know, some people are able to sit back and retire because they put it on the line. You know, sometimes it's not. You have to have the guts to risk some things, and you know, that's where the reward comes from sometimes, because you can get something from nothing, but you can't get a lot without a risk. You know, and every now and then you got to manage your risk. I understand that too. Like, as a black man, we don't have to take risks, but you do have to do a risk assessment. Like, okay, this is what I can handle, this is what I can't handle, this is what I'm willing to lose, this is what I'm not willing to lose. But a risk assessment comes with the ideology that you're going to take a risk. So you got to do it. You know, when we talk about the future of our people and legacy, you know, part of the legacy for some is going to come with risk. You know, or just or taking full advantage of an opportunity. You know, sometimes, you know, you might see something that might be marginal or menial to other people, may be an avenue for you to do big things. So if you see something big in something so small, you got to hop on it. You know, it is what it is. You got to be comfortable with being on the offensive. I still say defense first, because, you know, we got to, like the brother was saying, you know, a lot of things are coming at us from a lot of different angles. So sometimes you got to understand, as a brother in this climate, once you take a risk, you're on the offensive, and it's not, and we're fighting multiple battles at one time. So, you know, you can get hit with something from a completely different direction of where you're taking a risk from, you know, or where you're risking. Like, you can be over here with your risk and get you can be going this way as far as risk is concerned, risk and reward, but you wind up not seeing something from over here that has nothing to do with this over here, right? Because we're always on the defensive. You gotta like, shit, this shit is coming from everywhere. Like, and, you know, people see an opening, right? But you got to be willing to, you know, take that. I mean, it's kind of like getting jumped. You got to take a risk to hit somebody. You might be getting jumped by 2, 3, 4, 5 people. In order to, you know, since you're getting hit, you might as well take a risk and knocking one of these people down or one of these people out. That way, it's less people hitting you, and then you can work from there. You get what I'm saying? But that's something that we're not doing, you know. Sometimes we throw in the towel too early because we have an aversion to taking a chance and going on an offensive and doing something that may put us in a better spot, you know. And sometimes we're not even, we don't have a vantage point to look from, because we're so accustomed to being on the defensive it doesn't. We're slow to process. We have an opening for offense. But at some point, you got to get over the mentality of saying, "Hey, you know what? You got to risk it, man. We got to do it." Like some of the most successful people in the world took a chance on something. They saw something. They saw themselves doing something great, and took the chance of, of the bumps in the road that they had to take to get there. I mean, it is what it is. And some of us, we gonna all take bumps and bruises along the way. So you might as well take those bumps and bruises doing something that you may see a reward for, or that you intend to see a reward for at the end of the day. So I'm out of this joint, man. Y'all have a good night. Peace.